Emotionally abusive narcissists will totally lose their minds if empaths, people just like you, do these 10 things I'll share with you in this video. So if you've been stuck in attracting narcissistic relationships, let's say narcissistic romantic partners, you're surrounded with narcissistic friends or colleagues at work, or you've been dealing with the psychological abuse from narcissistic parents you've had, well, stay with me until the end of the video, because I'll share with you the exact 10 things that if you do, you will not only heal and take responsibility of your healing journey, but you actually make the narcissistic people in your life lose their minds because they now don't have any control over you. So that being the case, my friend, let's directly get into the topic. First of all, welcome. I am Daniel, a relationship alignment coach and a creator of the Soulful Relationships Experience, a 4-month one-on-one coaching experience that helps you eradicate any toxic, codependent, narcissistic, power struggle relationship dynamics and surround yourself with people who support and lift you up and genuinely care for you and have the best interest at heart for you. So if you're curious about that, you can check out one of the trainings below, and you can get on a call and we can talk about how this program works and how we can apply it in your life. But now let's get into the topic and let's actually discuss what are these 10 things you can do. And these are like 10 practices. It's like a whole process I've discovered working with my feelings for more than 5 years already and applying my discoveries and insights with the more than 50 people I've worked with individually. And I've discovered that if people go through these 10 things, they can try to focus on themselves and actually commit to doing the healing work. Well, yeah, it's like narcissistic people around them just can't tolerate them any longer. So you as an empath, you're a powerful being, my friend. You are really powerful, and your energy, the radiance of your energy can it not only attracts narcissists, but it can also repel them if you focus on your healing. So the first thing, my friend, let's get directly into it. The first thing is basically that you need to stop trying to save others, stop trying to save the narcissist, and stop trying to take responsibility of helping them in their miserable life, and focus all that energy on yourself. Because what happens most of the time when we are too sensitive, too empathetic, we have a really big, kind, loving heart that we extend to others, but we extend that heart to other people who are not willing to take responsibility of themselves. And so what happens is we sacrifice ourselves and compromise all of our values and boundaries to save other people who are not looking to be saved. And so it's then we become frustrated, become angry that they're not giving us the favor back. And so it's just we are the ones investing in the relationship and nothing else happens. We just become dependent on somebody who is using us for our emotional support. So the first thing you need to do, my friend, is to stop trying to save people who are not looking to be saved. And I've gone deeper into this one point in another video I have, where you can see what is the one belief, the one belief that makes you attract, the ugly truth that makes you attract narcissists. So you can check it out. I'll put it in the description. But now getting to the second thing you can do, and this is where the work begins. From the second to the 10th, you will see that they're almost sequential. It's practices that you start doing with yourself to take responsibility of your own healing. So the second thing is that you need to start becoming aware of how you feel in the relationship with the narcissist you have. It can be your partnership right now, if it's a romantic partnership. It can be in a relationship with a narcissistic parent. It can be in a relationship with a narcissistic boss. Doesn't matter what type of relationship it is exactly, but what you need to do in this second step is start bringing awareness to all the negative feelings you experience in that relationships. Because the way our feelings work is that they're guidance. They're always trying to show us, and I'm talking more about our painful feelings here. So the hurt feelings, the painful feelings, the one that the narcissist tries to abuse and manipulate and take control of. So these feelings, when we actually become aware of them and start feeling them, they contain within themselves the wisdom of what we need to do and change within our lives in terms of our boundaries, our self-respect, so that we can heal the dynamics that create and that perpetuate these same feelings. So bringing awareness to the feelings you feel in the relationship is the first thing you need to do, my friend. And practically how that looks like, it's basically focusing your awareness from thinking whenever you feel triggered to feeling, embodying how you feel within your body. What happens in your abdomen? What happens in your chest? What happens in your back? Like, do you feel some heaviness? Is there tension in your waist somewhere? How does your body feel on the inside? This is what the second step is all about. Bringing awareness to your feelings. Now the second step, it moves you to the third step, which the third step is basically, by being aware of your feelings, you now start to investigate what are some of the limiting beliefs you have about yourself, about men, about women, about love, about like relating with others. Can you trust them? Are people trustworthy, or are people are people manipulative and unscrupulous? I've had a client who believed that. She believed that men are unscrupulous, and so she was attracting men who weren't honest with her and who were just using her emotionally. But she didn't know that she was the one attracting them, because she didn't know that she was holding on to this belief. So in this third step, you start investigating your beliefs. You write them down. You take a piece of paper. Anytime you feel triggered, you ask yourself the question, why do I feel that way? What must I believe is true about myself in relationship to what happened, in relationship to that person, to be feeling this way? And by consistently asking yourself this question, you now become aware of your beliefs. And so by being aware of your beliefs, now you take responsibility of transforming them. So the only way you can transform them is, here we go to the fourth step, is to investigate what are some of the models of behavior, the patterns that your ego has developed to run away, to not take responsibility of those inner feelings. So what happens most of the time is, let's say, if you're dealing with a narcissist, and I've found this to be the case for many people who had narcissistic relationship, is that we tend to over-explain ourselves, not understanding that most of the time the narcissist doesn't even care. Like, when we over-explain ourselves, we just give them our energy, and so we deplete ourselves, our energy reserves. Or let's say trying to justify why you're right. When he's gaslighting you, or when he's projecting, you try to justify yourself, you try to explain yourself. Some people escape themselves. So it's like escaping their feelings by overeating, by nail biting, by whatever it is, like some form of anxious, negative pattern of behavior, or like negative habit. Let's say another model could be defending yourself, starting to defend yourself. It's similar to justifying. Or let's say wallowing in self-pity, indulging in self-pity. Who does that help? Well, it doesn't help you, nor does it help your healing, nor does it help the narcissist. It doesn't help nobody. Nor does it give your power back from the narcissist. So you need to investigate what are the models of behavior behind these limiting beliefs that you've now become aware of, because anytime a limiting belief is triggered, instantly, automatically, a model of behavior gets in place, and now, in a way, it's a safety mechanism. It tries to keep you safe from the hurtful feelings that have been triggered in your body. So if you act on that model of behavior, you keep perpetuating the pattern, and healing couldn't take place. So that's why initially, in these first 4 steps, as you can see, it's all about investigation, self-awareness. And so going forward, then on the fifth thing you can do, my friend, is basically to start giving yourself the empathy and care that you always have for others, but you rarely have for yourself. Because I know how attractive it feels for us empaths to go and save the world. And I'm also doing that. Like, look at me, I'm creating a video explaining to you some of the practices I've tried and I've applied to my clients' life, and they're helping them. And now I'm sharing them with you. I'm trying to save you instead of working on myself. So I'm also going through these patterns. But I know how useless it is when I'm just trying to help others without helping myself. So the fifth thing you can do is to start giving yourself the empathy and care you freely give to others. But now instead of giving it only to others, you start giving it to your own self. So you build that relationship, that undeniable relationship that you already have with yourself. Yes, my friend, you're already in a relationship with yourself. You cannot escape that, no matter how hard you try. Your awareness of you being here now, listening, being aware, it's always there. No matter what happens, it's always there. So it's an undeniable relationship you have with yourself. And from that awareness of being, you can start taking care of your feelings. You can start parenting yourself. So this is the fifth thing you can try. Now going forward, the sixth thing you can try is, it's actually like a combination of the second, third, and fourth point, where you become aware of your feelings, of your limiting beliefs, and of your models of behavior. So on the sixth point, it's so like it becomes so much more easier when you actually structure your psyche, all the contents in your mind, conscious and subconscious mind, you structure your psyche into separate identities. Now, why is this so important? Because what happens most of the time for us empaths is that we do not discern between our own feelings and the feelings of other people. And so sometimes we mistake the feelings of other people as our own feelings. And now we try to take responsibility of the feelings of other people as if they were our own, and we become emotionally overwhelmed. But now when you've taken some time to investigate your feelings, limiting beliefs, and models of behavior, like patterns, habits, so on and so forth, and now you start to structure them into separate identities. And let's say one of those identities, it belongs to your mother, for example. Another part of your identity belongs to your father. So it's like it's a combination of all the beliefs that you have inherited from your childhood upbringing with the relationship you've had with your mother, and the other identity, which is your father in your mind, it includes all the combination of all the beliefs and models of behavior you've inherited from your father in your childhood upbringing. And then you have, let's say, your grown-up empathetic self, which is the third aspect, the third identity. And it includes all the beliefs you have about yourself, which are authentic now, which is everything that you've learned from your own personal experience, and like everything that you value, everything that you genuinely see as valuable and like you support. Your values, your boundaries are here, your needs, so it's another identity. And by structuring your psyche into these separate identities, what happens, and it's such a beautiful process, it's something I apply to for myself and like for all my clients I work with. Then once you have these separate identities, it's, by the way, it's almost like conscious schizophrenia. You become schizophrenic, but consciously. It's like it's a conscious choice. And so instead of these identities fighting between themselves, because you don't have any structure, you don't have any clarity of how they work. Once you've structured them down, now you can communicate with those three identities, or you can even make more, but three is more than enough as a beginning. You can communicate between those identities and ensure that they are in a healthy relationship with one another. And so this starts from the inside. It's like you create a healthy relationship between the different aspects of your psyche, so that this healthy relationship can now reflect on the outside with the important people in your life. Which gets me to the seventh step, my friend. Now the seventh step is all about setting boundaries. And for you to set boundaries, you need to be aware of what you can't tolerate any longer. What is it that you need from your relationships? What are your social human needs? Do you need to be respected? Do you need to be cared for? Do you need to be supported? Do you need encouragement? What is it that you need? And what is it that you don't tolerate? What type of behaviors you don't tolerate? And what are your gifts? What are you giving to the table in your relationships? And so this process of setting boundaries and communicating your needs transparently, firstly, it starts on the inside. So it's like these separate identities that you've created and now structured, you try to communicate the needs of each one to the other. And so they start to be in this they start building these mutually beneficial relationships. That's inside your mind initially. But then it starts reflecting on the outside. And so it becomes easy for you to communicate your needs and your boundaries transparently with the people in your life, because now you've already communicated your needs and your boundaries inwardly with yourself. Like the inner child have communicated the boundaries with the inner mother and with the inner father, and it also communicated the needs. And the mother, let's say, it communicated its needs with the inner child, and so the father told what it wanted from the inner child. And so there is this like understanding now. There is this transparency on the inside, and when there is transparency on the inside, now it's so easy for that to be reflected on the outside. And by the way, if this is a stage you've reached already, you can check out, I have a 3-question healthy boundaries framework, which is not only about boundaries, it's also about needs and gifts. So this is like, it's 3 questions: boundaries, needs, gifts. You can check it out in the description below. It's a powerful resource. You can try. It guides you through a process you can apply in your life to help yourself ultimately. So this is the 6th thing you can try, my friend. Now going forward, this is the 7th thing actually. Going forward, in the 8th thing, it's actually the time when you become transparent. It's what you need to do is to become transparent in your emotional self-expression. So whenever you feel feelings related to other people in your life, you find the words to communicate them transparently with others. So you don't hold your feelings for yourself any longer. You're transparent with them, because this helps you like make other people aware of your needs, of your boundaries, and of your gifts. And it's like it puts you in a position in which you now can have healthy relationships. So you start communicating with other people, and most importantly, you speak up your feelings in the relationship with your parents. So this is where completing the past happens. It's like, okay, you understand that if you are attracting narcissists in your life, most of the time this is because you've had a narcissistic parent, and you've never had the opportunity, you've never had the opportunity to communicate with them all your hurt feelings, all your like insecurities, everything that you are offended about, everything that you are disappointed in them, everything that you are resentful about, everything that you are angry about them. So you never did that. And now, since you never did that, this relationship, let's say with your mother or father, since it's not transparent, it's not clear, now it repeats itself with the partners you attract in your life. So, and it's funny, actually, earlier today, I had this conversation with a woman, and she was like, with one woman, she was just saying to me, like, how frustrated and angry she is in her relationship with her ex-narcissistic boyfriend. And like, she was really attached to him and angry, and she wanted to like drop everything and not continue going with not continue tolerating that relationship. And so eventually in our conversation, she said that, look, I hate him so much, and it's like, how can I take responsibility of that when my mother was hating me when I was just growing up? I remember I was 2 years old and my mother was hating me, and so that's why I have this hatred to other people. And so she never healed that relationship with her mother. And so that's why it repeated itself now. And so it's like, this is how it works, my friend. This is why you need to be really transparent with your feelings with your parents. If you are not, these same feelings that you haven't found the words to communicate clearly and transparently and boldly, courageously with your parents, if you didn't communicate them with them, they will just perpetuate themselves. The wound cycle, this wounded inner child, it will remain wounded in your relationship with your partner. So unless this healing is done, this completion of the past is done, like, what do you expect? You're self-perpetuating this pattern. Sorry to tell you that. And it's like, I really hope you're not hearing it for the first time. It takes a lot of self-compassion, self-honesty, like self-care, transparency, self-transparency to take responsibility of this healing process. But this 8 things you can do, it's crucial, my friend. Because when you are able to communicate your feelings with your parents transparently, since these relationships are the first relationship we have in our human life, when you do it there, now it becomes easy on all other relationships. And so transparency becomes natural. And so this is where you've completed most of the healing through this, with this 8th step. Now, the 8th thing you can do. Now, the 9th and the 10th thing. The 9th thing is basically to connect to the empowering vision of how you envision your relationship to unfold. And the 10th thing is it's connecting to that vision. You're not creating it. This vision already exists in your field. So it's like connecting, allowing yourself to claim that vision of exactly how you want your relationships to be. And so once you know that vision, once you've connected to it, then the 10th step is to bridge your current reality, the circumstantial reality you find yourself in, the relationships you find yourself in. This is your current reality. To bridge that current reality with the vision of your relationships using transparent communication and visualization. Like these are the two tools you need. And so by transparently communicating all your feelings with all the people around you, what you don't tolerate, what you need, what you're willing to give to the relationships, and then setting ultimatums whenever people are not listening to you because you have self-respect, right? So then you can set ultimatums. It's okay to set an ultimatum. And then you use visualization to like create in your imagination the experiences you would want to have. Then the magic starts happening, my friend. Then it's like within 1 month of connecting to that vision, your relationships completely transform. And by the way, if you've been if you've been interested in everything I've shared, well, this is basically like briefly what the 9 steps I guide people that I work with personally through to help them transform their relationships in just a matter of 3 to 4 months. This is what it takes. And this is how it works. It takes a lot of self-compassion, self-responsibility, self-honesty, but it's worth it. It's totally worth it because then you don't experience any toxic, codependent, and like narcissistic power struggle relationship dynamics. So if you've connected with that, if you resonated with that, I would highly encourage you, my friend, to check out. I have a free training in which you understand how these 3 phases, each phase containing 3 steps. Here I explain them as 10 steps, but I expanded a little bit on them. So you can check out this training in which you'll see what are the 3 phases exactly and how you can practice them to go through this process, in which at the end of those 3 to 4 months, when you work with that process, with this 3-phase inner work process, well, you will heal your relationships. So if this is something important for you, I highly suggest you check out the training. It's totally free. You can register for it. It's like 2 hours long. Take the time, watch it. And then if you need any personal help, like if you want us to create a personalized strategy on how you can apply this process because you find that it resonates with you, and how we can apply this process specifically for your life, specifically for your situation, then you can book a free discovery call in which we can connect and then create a strategy of what is it exactly that you need to work on in those 3 to 4 months to achieve that transformation. So these, my friend, are the 10 things that you need to do to make emotionally abusive narcissists lose their minds. Because once you go through all these steps, well, narcissists just don't have control over you. Like you're free. You're emotionally free. Your emotions don't depend on others anymore. Because you're here for yourself. You have a relationship with yourself. So I trust you found this video to be helpful, my friend. Now, if this is the case, if you enjoyed it, like it, comment down below. Let me know if you've been practicing some of the things I've shared, or like if you would want to start doing this now. I would highly appreciate it because it's important for me to connect with the audience who watches my YouTube channel. So comment down below. Let me know if this is something new for you. Let me know if you've already been trying that. Let me know what is it that you're working on right now, and I would love to support you on that journey. That being the case, thank you so much for watching. I trust you found the video to be helpful. Like it, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new to it, and I will see you around in the next video. Thank you so much. I love you, my friend. See you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.